Next topic is the pile and pile drive equipments. A pile is a structural member and is used to transmit the load of structure through a stratum of low bearing value to protect a bridge foundation from possible soil by flash flood, okay, or anchor structure against uplift, overturning, and the effect of earthquake stresses. Okay, so where the subsoil has poor and low bearing capacity, or where there is a likely to be appreciable ground movement as a black cotton soil or shrinkable clay, it is often economical to use pile foundation. So pile, it is nothing but column either cast in situ or driven into ground to transfer the load through the poor bearing soil to a more stable strata. Okay, so this pile may support RCC column, beam frame structure, and bridge structure. So pile is a relatively small diameter and shaft driven into the ground by a suitable equipment, and that equipment are called as pile driven equipments. Okay, so these pile foundations are usually adopted for multi-story building, for bridges. Okay, so these piles are classified according to the material and on the basis of function. So what is pile? A pile is a long slender foundation member made either of timber, structural steel or concrete, which might be cast in situ or driven and act as a structural member to transfer the load of structure to a required depth in a deep foundation carrying a load which may be vertical or lateral plus vertical. So the pile is a friction pile or bearing pile. So on the basis of function, the piles are classified into the load bearing piles and friction piles. So if the load is transmitted to the soil, the pile is called as friction pile, and if the load is transmitted to the soil through the pile lower tip, the pile is called as end bearing pile. So this load bearing pile and friction pile are the types of the pile. Okay, so piles can be classified on the basis their use of material from which they are made. So sheet pile on the basis of the use they call it sheet pile and load pile. Okay, so this is a retaining wall, bulkhead, cofferdam. Okay, so according to the material used for the construction, the piles are classified as a steel pile, then pre-stressed concrete pile, timber pile, then composite pile. These are various types of pile. Okay, so this timber pile, then steel edge section pile, then precast concrete pile and composite pile, that is combination of both material, concrete and timber. So these are the different types of the pile according to the material used for construction. Okay, so first timber pile. So this timber pile, these are being used since olden days. If properly used and not too heavily loaded, wooden piles are often economical where suitable wood are available. Okay, so and the strength of these timber piles depend upon the species of wood and its varying qualities. The concrete pile. Okay, so concrete piles are of two types, namely precast and cast in situ piles. So these are tapered or parallel, and the concrete piles are characterized by their high structural strength and high load capacity. Okay, so mostly these precast concrete piles are used for the foundation purpose, and the composite pile with a combination of concrete and timber. Okay, so these are again the classification of pile: H section, steel, composite, concrete, and plastic. Selection of pile. Okay, so before selection of pile, one of the point is what are the advantages of cast in place concrete pile. So first advantage of cast in situ concrete pile, that is it is light in weight. Then length of pile, a shell can be increased or decreased easily. No problem of handling and stress caused by handling. Then the shell can be transported in a small length and assembled at the side, and the danger of breaking while driving is eliminated. These are some of the advantages of cast in situ concrete pile. Also, this cast in situ concrete pile has having some of the disadvantages. The first, a slight movement of the earth around an unreinforced pile may break it. The bottom of the pile may not be symmetric. An upflow force acting on the shaft of an uncased and unreinforced pile may cause it to the fail in tension. Okay, so next steel pile we already considered steel edge pile, edge section pile, and composite pile that is from two or more material, either maybe reinforced concrete pile or steel pile filled with the concrete. Okay, so selection of pile. For any structure, selection of pile is done considering the following main factors. The first, the amount of load to be supported. Next, depth at which adequate support is available. And physical and chemical properties of soil strata. The type of equipment used for driving a pile. Next, stresses likely to be developed while driving the pile. And comparative cost of different piles and their durability. And cost economy is considered by calculating the cost of piling in case two or more type of piles are found suitable for the job. Okay. So these are some of the points should be considered during selection of pile. Okay. So first, amount of load supported, depth at which support available, physical and chemical properties of soil, types of equipment used for the driving, then stresses to be developed during the driving of the pile, comparative cost of different piles and durability. Okay, next, so what is pile driving? Okay, so pile driving process which involves lifting and holding the piles into position and driving until it stops due to hard strata or reaches to a specific depth. Okay, so the pile is cut on the top if it is more than required after driving, or to add in length by slicing if they are short. The depth up to which the pile is to be derived is determined by using the pile driving formula. Okay. So the pile driving can be done by hammering the pile at the top with a hammer, and the driving plant should be able to deliver the greatest amount of useful hammer energy to the pile for penetration. Too hard strokes may damage the pile top or may bend if it meets any obstruction, whereas light stroke may be result in very little or no penetration of pile. Okay, so these are the different pile hammers. Okay, so pile driving hammers, the equipment and accessories used for pile driving. Okay, so the pile driving equipments, that is nothing but the pile driving hammers. Okay, so different types of hammers which are used to driven the pile into the soil. Okay, so first one is a different types of pile hammer. And that first one is a drop hammer. The second one is the single acting hammer. Drop hammer, single acting hammer, then double acting hammer, then differential acting hammer, then diesel hammer, then hydraulic hammer, and vibratory hammers. So the first pile driven hammers. Okay, so these pile driven hammers are classified as drop hammer, single acting hammer, double acting hammer, differential acting hammer, diesel hammer, vibratory hammer, and hydraulic hammer. Okay, so the energy by using pile driving hammers can be calculated by weight of the arm into fall of hammer. Okay, so first one is the drop hammer. So drop hammer is a heavy metal weight that is lifted by a hoist clamp, then released and allowed to fall onto the top of the pile. Because of high dynamic forces, a pile cap position between the hammer and pile head. Standard drop hammer weight having 500 to 300. It is 1.5 to 3 ton. Okay, so weight of hammer generally varies between 1.5 to about 3, 0.5 to about 3 tons. Okay, that means the larger size of hammers. So this is suitable for driving piles on a remote project that require only a few piles and for which time of completion is not important factors. Drop hammers can deliver 4 to 8 blows per minute. Construction method of drop hammer. You can see in the picture, the first one is the driving the pile which is fitted, and after that a hammer which is dropping over that pile and fixing a pile into the ground. Okay, so this is what the construction method of pile driving by using the drop hammer. This is the drop hammer. Okay, so the next one is the single acting hammer. Okay, so the next one is single acting hammer. Previously we discussed about the drop hammer, and this drop hammer, some of the limitations, that is the rate of driving is low, hence require more time. Next, to increase the rate of driving, there is a tendency to let the hammer fall from a great height, which cause fraction of air and to cause breakage of the pile. Next, to drive heavy piles, there is a need of heavy hammer weights which are difficult to handle with sufficient speed by using simple winch height mechanism. Cannot be used for underwater driving unless the head is kept out of water using long pile or follower is used so as to keep hammer out of the water. Okay, this is some of the limitations of drop hammer. The next one is single acting hammer. So in single acting hammer pile driving, the ram of the hammer is raised by the steam or compressor when works on the underside of the piston. When the ram reaches the top of the upward stroke, the pressure of the steam or air is released, which results in the fall of hammer by gravity. The falling hammer gives a blow to the anvil block located at the pile head. The weight of the ram of this hammer are generally available in the ranges of 1.5 to 10 tons, thus making the overall weight of hammer between 2 to 20 tons, and the number of blows per minute are generally around 60. These hammers can also be used underwater, where the hammers are lifted and dropped in an enclosed casing. So this is about the single acting hammer. You can see the single acting compressor or steam air hammer. Okay, single acting steam or compressor hammer. Next one is a double acting steam or compressed hammer. So double acting pile driving hammers is similar to single acting hammer, except that steam or air acts on both sides of the piston in this type of hammer. So steam or air rises the arm to the top of the driving strokes and then drives it down in its downward slope. Thus, steam or air pushes the ram downward and assists the gravitational force in the striking the blow. This also increases the speed of downward motion and thereby increase the number of blows per minute. So in single acting hammer, there is a provision for admitting the steam or air at the bottom of the cylinder to lift the ram upward, whereas there is no provision for allowing the fluid to enter the fluid from above. So in the case of double acting hammer, steam or air is admitted above the pistons after the pistons reaches at the top. काय 5 मिनिट फोन करशील लेक्चर रेकॉर्ड करतो 2 मिनिटांनी फोन कर लेक्चर स्टॉप करतो. So in this type of hammer, double acting hammer, the speed of the ram is about 100 blows per minute as against about 60 of single acting hammers, and the energy delivered by each blow is about 20% more due to steam pressure. Okay, so this is about the double acting hammer. Okay, so single acting hammer, in that single acting hammer, from the only one side steam or air is utilized for lifting of the hammer and allow freely fall. But in double acting hammer, by using steam and compressor, the hammer is pull out and also drop by utilizing steam and compressor. Okay, so that means from the both side, steam and air act on the both side of the pistons. Okay, for the driving of hammer. So that is the double acting hammer. Next, a differential acting hammer. Okay, so this type of hammer has a piston of two differential diameter or two different diameter, larger one on the top and the smaller one on below it. The number of blows per minute is comparable with that of the double acting hammer. Weight and equivalent free fall are comparable with those of the single acting hammer. It has advantages of single and double acting hammer. So this is differential acting hammer, and the next one is a diesel hammer. So this type of hammer does not require any external power source like steam or compressor. These forms of energy are delivered by this hammer to the pile for driving it, and these are force of air compressed by descending pistons. So impact of the pistons and the force of fuel in the combustion chamber. So this is diesel acting hammer. Okay, so it is self-contained driving unit that does not require any external source of energy such as air compressor or a steam boiler. So it is simpler and more easily moved from one location to another than steam hammer. Open in diesel hammer deliver 40 to 55 blows per minute, and closed end models operate at 75 to 85 blows per minute. It works well in cohesive or very dense soil layer. The hammer may not operate when driving piles into the soft grounds. So this is a diesel acting hammer. Next, hydraulic hammer, hydraulic impact hammer. Okay, so these hydraulic hammer are the recent origin and are based on the principle of differential hammer, but the utilities hydraulic fluid in a place of steam or compressed air. So these hammers utilize high pressure up to 350 kg per square centimeter hydraulic fluid provided by a system consisting of an oil pump and fluid lines. Due to very high pressure, equivalent driving force can be obtained with economy in size, space and cost. So the hydraulic hammer give maximum driving efficiency, reduce air pollution, noise and vibrating levels. These are completely under operational control or operator control and economical. Okay, so although hydraulic hammers work in the same ways as diesel and which forward free fall or drop hammer, their advantages is that three key operating parameters: strokes, blow rate and dwell on the pile cap. Okay, so this hydraulic hammer having other advantages are the lower setup, lower expenditure in shifting, saving in time due to absence of boiler or air compressor, and fast work and less energy consumption. So these are the various some advantages of hydraulic hammer. Okay, so what is lower setup, lower expenditure in shifting, saving in time due to absence of boiler and air compressor, fast work and less energy consumption. Okay, so next one is hydraulic hammer, and last one is vibratory hammers. So in pile driving methods, during the period of interval between two blows, soil friction is built up around the pile surface. So the vibratory hammers are best suited to drive light piles in the sandy and non-cohesive soil. The speed of pile driving by vibrating hammers may be as high as 4 times the speed achieved by double acting hammer. Since vibratory hammers operate at low noise level and with less shocks to adjacent ground, this can be used in AC location. So this about the vibrating hammers. Okay, so the pile driving safety, the connection including air hammer, lines and leads to the hammer must be securely attached. Hydraulic hammers can be under high pressure, so you must always protect these lines. So selection of pile driving hammer, some factors should be considered during selection of pile driving hammer. The first one is size and type of pile. Next, number of pile. Next, the character of the soil. Next, the location of the project. Next, the topography of the site. Next, the type of rig available. Next, whether driving will be done on the land or water. So these all points or factors should be considered during selection of pile driving hammers for the construction purpose or foundation purpose. Okay.